Hi, I'm Anastasia Ross, your outgoing president.
And I'm Anna Borwick, your outgoing vice president.
Although this year we have had many challenges such as COVID, we've been able to have quite a successful year. This year we have implemented new events such as the Humanities Festival, which was an amazing success, and joining in with COSUP Gaming. We also came up with the radio project, which was a new way for students around the school to communicate with others.
To improve communication, we've also created class reps Teams chat to communicate CdE news, but also news from the administration, so students can be kept in the loop. We've also changed hoodie supplier, thanks to which we could provide you with softer and better quality hoodies. If you want to discover more about the CdE and what it does, check out the CdE report that will be in the link in the description box.
We'd like to thank you for voting for us, and it was an amazing opportunity. We'd like to encourage the younger students to really pursue this and look at this as an option, as we learned so much from it. Speaking on this, I would like to introduce you to the new candidates of 2021 to 2022.
Now it's their time.
Hi, I'm Oscar McGlynn. I'm in the French section and I'm Irish, and I'd like to be your president if you so choose to vote for me.
Hi, my name is Giulia and I'm in the French section, but I'm Polish and Italian, and I'd like to be a new vice president.
Alright, the first question I would like to ask you guys today is, what are your plans?
Rest is the green cards for S4, 5, 6 and 7. The green cards used to allow you to leave school as soon as you had a free period as events. So for the last 2 years, there's been a little thing called COVID, and that has made it a little harder for events such as the S1, 2, 3 discos to be had. We would like to bring them back to their former glory. Then, of course, back day. We would like to bring it back, the S7s to relax before the back, and everyone enjoys to see all the shaving cream mess and sweets and so on.
As some of you know, the CdE has an Instagram account, greater use of it, so we post weekly updates, the canteen menu and absences for the day. Use this platform to obviously interact with the students and communicate with them. School produces hoodies every year with personalized school logo, and last year some people didn't get their hoodies in time or weren't able to get them, so we'd like the sale to be made earlier during the year. So Bruegel has been divided into to enlarge the infirmary, as some of you may know. We'd like to fill this space with chairs, couches, and beanbags. So one of our main points is adding a default browser to all school computers. This browser would be called Ecosia. It's a European-based website that works just like Google or Firefox, where you can make internet searches. But with every search, you contribute to reforestation.
Another thought we had would be to continue or to implement a suggestion by a former CdE student. This suggestion is that in the canteen, food and the cafeteria, it goes to waste. We think it's a brilliant idea to reuse the food that cannot be consumed by the students in the school, instead of just putting it to waste. You may have heard of Greta Thunberg and Fridays for Future. If you'd like to look into the possibility of the school being more open to students being allowed to go to these events, we'd love to continue a project that has already been going on through the school, and the radio project, the Humanities Festivals, which worked so well last year. And I've talked with Samo renewing the basketball courts.
This question is, why have you chosen to run?
I first chose to run when I had a talk with my conseillère about the green cards, and thought more about it and thought, well, maybe I could run for president, see what's the worst that could happen. That also, I've looked up to presidents in the past years.
I've always been really interested, but never knew if I really had the confidence to do it, and since he asked me, I felt like I was motivated enough to come and join him and do this experience.
Why do you think that you guys would be a good presidency?
We think we'd make a good presidency because we've worked together for a year now preparing, and we work well together, we rely on each other, we communicate well, and we share many ideas and had fun creating the plan and the program, and are excited to work.
How would you describe your presidency in one word?
So if we were to put it in one word, probably open, because we feel we're open to suggestions from the students. We're happy to receive your suggestions. We want to be the presidents of the students, not the president of the CdE. However, if I had to choose a secondary word, which was not in the question, it would probably be green, as we feel we have new elements brought in our campaign about the greener aspect of school life. And I think that together we work well, as Giulia said, and we'd love to represent you if you so choose.
What is one thing that the students can always rely on you for?
The students can always rely on us to be open to their suggestions. We said it a few times because we really want to insist on this. We want to be your president. We want to be representing of each and every one of you, because each and every one of you has something to bring, and it's a shame that not everyone can be part of the CdE and not everyone can share their thoughts. But however, we'd love to make this more possible through the use of the CdE Instagram. We'd love to put program like try and get most of you to follow it and interact and just be brave to say what.
How would you deal with COVID during your presidency?
So as we know, the situation with COVID is getting better thanks to the vaccine and the many quarantines. We're not quite there yet, unfortunately, so we'll have to deal with the many regulations. But we feel like we could start up projects again and events with students and not only online. We are expecting the best but prepared for the worst. So if in the worst case scenario, COVID did come back, so a fourth wave, we'd be ready and taking on the challenge.
What makes you different from other presidencies before?
Good question. So what makes us different is we're positive, we have a can-do attitude, but especially we believe that we can accomplish what we have set out to. We believe in the power we hold, we believe in the power you hold, and we know that things can be changed. And with your help, they will change if you vote for us.
It's a great answer. Good luck with the elections, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
you.
I'm Ines Bonhomme. I'm Spanish, French. I'm an S7ENA, and I'm running for president.
And my name is Sofia Santamato. I'm Italian and Danish, currently in the S6 Danish section, and I'll be running for your vice president.
So what are your plans for your presidency?
Okay, so firstly and more generally, we want to create a healthier and more welcoming environment, which seeks to lessen stress and aid with mental health. And we do this by further developing projects such as homework policy, which seeks to reduce immensely the amount of workload throughout the entirety of the school year.
Furthermore, to create a healthy environment, we definitely want to create more spaces where you would like to be. That means more open spaces. It means a better and reformed etude, and it means exiting the school in all 3 periods if you wish to do so.
We fully acknowledge the amount of talent and potential on campus. Therefore, we'd like to promote that by establishing more clubs and school events such as the Socrates Debate Society and the Humanities Festival.
A healthier environment also means more sustainability. We definitely want to expand the installation of solar panels on most of the school buildings, as well as support the purchase of hybrid buses. We also want to make it an environment that cares about its students and provides more guidance. So we want to create better orientations for S1s, S3s, S5s, and S7s if you're pursuing further education.
We'd also like to focus more on S1 to S3s, which we feel are often underrepresented, and so we'd like to create more events for them other than discos and establish more efficient communication channels with them.
Furthermore, as a school, we want education to be a priority. That's why we would like to implement a teacher feedback system, so you can give your teachers feedback and really appreciate the ones who put in an effort to ensure that we get better teaching.
And finally, post more polls and surveys so we can get direct feedback from the entirety of secondary in the most efficient and quick manner possible.
What is your motivation to run?
Well, our motivation to run is that we think we can make things better. We've been through the school system for a number of years now. We've been confused S1s getting into secondary. We've been S3s stuck in the etude. We've been S5s who couldn't leave the school before 12:30 for whatever reason. And with our experience, we feel that we can improve these things and make it better for the students that come after us.
Why do you think you're going to be a good presidency?
Okay, so both of us have worked with presidency for years now. For example, last year I was the treasurer, which is one of the 3 members of presidency, and that gave me deep understanding on not only the funding but also meetings with the administration.
Similarly, I was the executive secretary both of our CDE locally, but also of COSUP at an ES level. This gave us a really great understanding of how the ES system works, how to evolve projects within it, and more importantly, how to bring those projects to an end and finalize them. If you combine this experience with all our ideas, you know that we will get things accomplished. The things that we've put on our poster, the things that we've mentioned before, they aren't shots in the dark. These are things that we've explored, that we've researched, and that we've already begun to plan. So these are things that we know we can do for you if we were elected.
And this would allow for an extremely productive upcoming year.
Which would make us a good presidency.
How would you describe your candidacy in one word?
Optimization, because we want to listen and improve things, thus making the school an optimized place for its pupils.
Yeah, this goes for sustainability, it goes for education, it goes for social cornerstones of the community. These are all things that we want to optimize.
What is something students can rely on you for?
Okay, so I think the most important thing students should know is that we're here for them, because after all, it is their job as student presidency to represent them, and thus if they have any comments, questions, queries, they can feel free to just run up to us and we'll execute as soon as possible.
Exactly, because if you think about it, you spend 180 days every year at school. So if we can provide real everyday change for those 180 days, we're improving half your year. Everyday change is things like less homework, better teachers, but also things like events and clubs. And these are the things that you can rely on us for. Everyday change.
How are you going to deal with COVID during your candidacy?
Okay, so sadly yet unsurprisingly, CdE polls report that most pupils feel like they're behind because of online school, because of the entire pandemic, and they feel very stressed. And honestly, we feel that too as pupils, and
that's why we want to make it an objective to help you. We want to make sure that you know that it's not your personal burden to catch up. If we can provide resources, get teachers to pick up students that are left behind, anything we can do in that area to support you is something that will be our priority. And on a more practical level, we'll obviously find alternative ways of working. Whether in situ or online, we're going to make sure that the CdE this year will still be productive. You'll still feel that there's a sense of community, events, and that projects are realized, even if there is a second wave.
What makes you different?
With most CdE presidencies, they'll need an adjustment period. That's a period to learn the ropes of the job, to know how to implement their projects. However, with our experience, we don't need that. So we can already start in those first 2 months to work for you guys to implement our projects, which means that it'll be a more productive year for the CdE. If you think about it, a month or two is a lot in a given school year. So if in those 2 first months we can make mental health surveys, installation of solar panels, events, supporting class trips, if we can do all that stuff within the first 2 months, you can only imagine what we'd accomplish in a year. That's why a vote for us is actually a vote for more. And we'd like to really encourage everybody watching to communicate with us because we want to listen, whether that's through polls on the CdE Instagram or if that's just walking up to us and saying hi. We're here for you, we work for you, and with our experience, we're going to accomplish a lot for you.
Yes, we want to listen and deliver. And also, remember, before voting, this is an exercise of democracy, so vote well.
Bonjour, moi c'est Ainara Salido et je suis en S6 FRC. Je vais me battre pour être votre présidente et je parle français, espagnol, anglais et néerlandais. Et c'est pour ça que je vais vous parler en français pour les personnes qui ont plus du mal pour parler en anglais.
Hi, my name is Altea. I'm in the Italian section in S7 and I'm going to be your next vice president.
What are your plans for your presidency?
So first of all, we would like, of course, to allow students to go out the school before the P4 and from both exits. Then we would like to develop the sports sector because we feel that a change needs to be done. So the program needs to be more variated. For boys and girls, there will be tournaments, basketball and football leagues. We will also create Olympic Games and everyone from S1 to S7 will have access to it. Then we would also like to sensibilize students on social issues like racism and homophobia.
On a tous été des élèves en S1 qui étaient perdus et on a eu comme idée de pouvoir créer une sorte de parrainage. Donc il va y avoir des élèves qui vont se présenter bénévolement pour pouvoir soutenir les nouveaux élèves, pour les plus petits de l'école, parce que des fois je sais qu'ils se sentent perdus et que c'est pas facile de s'orienter dans une si grande école. Aussi, on aimerait avoir une plus grande ligne de vêtements, que ce soit de septembre jusqu'à juin. Donc, pas juste sortir une ligne de vêtements en mai, mais plutôt avoir une ligne de vêtements vraiment variée, qu'elle soit disponible au CdE de septembre jusqu'à juin et changer de collection à chaque fois. On aimerait implanter un terrain de beach soccer, mais pas seulement. Ce terrain sera utilisable pour 11 sports différents. On aimerait aussi avoir plus d'art dans l'école parce que on a parlé avec différents professeurs, etc. Et les murs sont fort blancs. Ça donnerait une petite touche de créativité à l'ensemble des bâtiments et ça donnerait beaucoup plus envie aux élèves d'aller à l'école parce que je sais qu'on est dans une période difficile et que ce n'est pas toujours facile de voir juste les murs blancs. On aimerait aussi améliorer la cellule anti-harcèlement car je sais que beaucoup d'entre vous se sentent seuls et ne se sentent pas assez soutenus dans ce genre de moment. Malheureusement, ce sont des choses qui arrivent beaucoup trop souvent et nous aimerions changer ça pour que vous vous sentiez beaucoup plus soutenus.
So I know that a lot of candidates already said it before us, but we really insist on the fact that we are 100% available if it's on social media or in real life. And we really insist on the fact that you can always come to speak to us if it's a problem or a suggestion on our campaign.
Aussi, juste pour ajouter, notre campagne, c'est pas une campagne fermée, on va juste garder ce qu'on a écrit, mais c'est vraiment une campagne ouverte parce qu'on vous représente, vous, les élèves, et c'est pour ça que si vous voulez rajouter quoi que ce soit à la campagne, on le fera, bien sûr, ce sera discuté, on va pas rajouter n'importe quoi.
What is your guys' motivation to run?
One thing's for sure, it's that we've seen too many presidents talk but not act. We've seen them making promises but not respecting them or taking in consideration our opinion. So I think that we're both fed up and you students also, and we want a literal change, a radical one.
Why do you think you're going to be a good presidency?
So we both have strong characters and we generally reach our goals, even if it means insisting 10 times on the same issue.
On veut aussi insister sur le fait qu'on veut vraiment créer une proximité entre les élèves, vraiment juste voter. On sait qu'il y a eu 10% de vote blanc l'année passée, ce qui est énormément parce que votre voix compte et ces 10% comptent vraiment.
How would you describe your candidacy in one word?
I think it would surely be determination.
Pourquoi ? Parce qu'on est déterminé à faire changer les choses, que ce soit sur le plan de l'éducation, que ce soit sur le plan émotionnel de chaque élève, que ce soit sur le plan sportif. On veut faire changer les choses et pas seulement à notre échelle, mais vraiment à l'échelle de tous les élèves et à l'échelle de tous les futurs élèves.
What is something students can rely on you for?
Par notre proximité, car on fait le maximum pour être le plus approchable possible, car on sait que toutes les années, il est difficile de parler avec les présidents, même s'il y a eu un certain progrès par rapport à la communication et par rapport à l'accessibilité des présidents, mais nous aimerions encore améliorer ça et c'est pour ça que nous avons créé un Google Forms qu'on a envoyé à un maximum de personnes avec des questions pour savoir leur ressenti à l'école et savoir ce qu'ils voudraient changer pour pouvoir avoir vraiment un maximum de points de vue et pouvoir toucher de réels problèmes. On veut vraiment être là pour vous, que ce soit sur le plan émotionnel, que ce soit sur le plan scolaire. Je sais qu'il n'est pas facile de trouver quelqu'un avec qui parler, mais sachez que vous pouvez parler avec nous, qu'on ne le répétera à personne et que vraiment on veut tout faire pour améliorer la vie à l'école, que ce soit pour nous, pour nos futurs petits frères, petites sœurs. Il est vraiment important d'améliorer certains points à l'école qui ont été vraiment ciblés et qui ont été répétés par plusieurs élèves.
How are you going to deal with COVID during your candidacy?
Of course, we will make sure that there is a better hygiene, cleaning more often classrooms and frequented areas like the canteen and the toilet.
On veut aussi créer plus d'activités extrascolaires, que ce soit des groupes de soutien pour les nouveaux élèves, car je sais qu'il y a beaucoup d'élèves qui se sentent seuls à cause du Covid parce qu'ils n'ont pas pu vraiment rencontrer de nouvelles personnes. On aimerait aussi créer plus de projets et plus d'événements pour assurer le bien-être des étudiants.
What makes you two different?
Nous savons que chaque année, vous écoutez les mêmes choses et les mêmes promesses. Et on sait que vous en avez marre qu'à chaque fois, beaucoup de projets ne soient pas réalisés. Et c'est pour ça qu'avec notre détermination et avec vos votes, on sait qu'on peut faire ce changement. Et on ne peut pas juste faire ce changement à deux, ni juste avec le CdE, mais vraiment avec tous les élèves, en s'appliquant tous ensemble.
I also think that our good communication skills, our seriousness, our work implication, our friendly relationships with both students and conseillers, our teachers, makes us perfect candidates to make a big change in a traditional system.